Hello everyone, this is Sean Broccoli here, and today's video will be a continuation of the Disgaea 4 Complete series. So we will be doing episode 2 today. The one thing I will bring up is I'm noticing that the videos are starting to get longer. I have recorded episodes 3 and 4 as well, so I'm going to be working on getting those up and running as well. But yeah, they're starting to get longer, so I'm probably going to have to start splitting them up into parts. But other than that, we will get started.
A war? What a foolish lass. A war is a jumble of pointlessness that creates hatred and death, and takes everything from everyone. It's the epitome of absurdity. It is nothing but an act of folly, perpetuated by pitiful humans. Besides, what's so fun about making the people below you fight against each other? Sword against sword, fist against fist, pitting your violence against another's. Fighting your own battles with your life on the line is the true appeal of war.
My lord, unfortunately, that's only a demon's point of view. Humans are war profiteers who only care about their own selfish desires. To that end, they don't care about wasting time, money, or labor. In other words, they're a bunch of idiots.
In that case, I will not allow such degenerates to start spreading that kind of idiocy here in Hades!
My lord, please wait. That lass seemed to be leading an unknown force. I'm assuming that she has been sent by the Corruptiment. If that is the case, it wouldn't be very wise of us to go marching in without prior knowledge of who and what they really are.
However, I already promised her that I would meet her at Rotten Field. If I were to fail to be on time for any reason, I would be breaking the promise I made as a proud and noble demon.
Sorry for the delay, Sir Fenric. We've gathered some intel on those pretty exterminators, dude.
You're 15 seconds late. Pretty rule number 6. You shall never make your master wait. If you ever fail to meet this rule...
You shall confess your most embarrassing experience, dude!
At least you're aware of the consequences. So, what do you have to report?
Yes, sir. The Prinny Exterminators are a newly assembled Corruptiment force. They consist of humans who fail to become Prinnies, dude!
Failed to become Prinnies?
The production of Prinny hide can't keep up with the number of souls that are being sent here from the human world, dude!
That's why they don't look like Prinnies. I pity them for not even being able to become Prinnies. But that doesn't explain why they're trying to exterminate the Prinnies.
The Corruptiment probably has something to do with this, using those unprinnies to get rid of the Prinnies. No matter which side wins, it's a win-win situation for the Corruptiment. It's a rather impressive scheme.
This isn't the time to be impressed. As a Prinny instructor, I can't just stand idly by and watch this happen. All that aside, the clock is ticking. We better get going, Fenric.
Understood. All is for my lord.
Sir Fenric, do we still have to confess our most embarrassing moments, dude?
I was able to make Axel out to be an anarchist, thanks to the information you all gathered. Considering that great achievement, I'll overlook your failure this time.
Episode 2, Prinny Wars. How is this possible? She arrived here before me? She's trying to make it look like I was late?
There you are! I didn't want to be late, so I've been waiting here since last night. Go me!
Tonight, she's pretty good.
My lord, please don't take this idiot so seriously.
Excuse me? Don't you dare call a lady an idiot! Plus, we just met!
Shut up, lass. Idiot is still too kind of a word to describe a kid who would declare war against my lord.
don't understand. You're all just human souls. Why are you going to fight your compatriots?
My compatriots? What's that mean?
It means that they're your own kind.
Whatever. I just haven't learned it in class yet. Anyways, did you say they're my own kind? You don't know what we've had to go through because of those lousy Prinnies. I can't stand living like this anymore. I want to have a happier dream. To put an end to this nightmare, I need to get rid of you guys!
And thus, whether wanted or not, the war which later became known as Prinny War I began.
Alright, so we're going to start off with Chapter 1 of the first episode. So this one, it's got a... I wouldn't say it's really much of a challenge, but it's a little different from the rest of them. We're going to have a bunch of new enemies. But for the first thing that you're going to want to do is you'll want to bring out your cast. I'm just going to use Torres just for the lifting. I'm not going to actually fight with him. And I'm just going to use my lower level monsters as I did with the previous episode. They're still overpowered for this sort of thing, or this episode I guess, but they're a lot closer than my main party. So the first thing you'll want is you'll need human characters for this, because you're going to need to not only lift characters, but you'll need to lift the box as well, or the geo block. So as you see there, you're gonna need to stand on the box or the geo block, pick up pick up one of your own guys and toss them to get up to the get up onto those blocks there, and then you'll have to take out the enemies up top. They're not going to be too difficult. They're going to be magic users, so physical attacks should be pretty good against them. You might want to get a couple guys up there before engaging the top two, just to kind of make things a bit easier. But once you've dispatched those two, you can go ahead and pick up the red block, geo block, and you're going to want to throw it down.
Ready for me?
Now here, I didn't really think it through too much, but I throw it right in front of the red block, which gets rid of them, as you see, and you'll also notice that I take some fall damage. Now that could obviously be avoided by throwing it one space extra away from it, and then throwing it, and then dropping down, and then throwing the block at it after. So at this point, as you can see, I'm using that sludge monster with the skull and the horns. You're actually gonna fight a couple of those as well, but they're gonna be red slime, or maybe they're lava. I'm not really sure. The one thing that you have to take into account for those is that they're high defense, so you're going to want to gather your guys at the top where they can't attack, and then send them all down at once and just overwhelm the three of them, as you can see there. There is another aspect to this game. I don't know if this is a glitch or not. I think it is, because it's kind of stupid and illogical to me. But if you can see, I have that the gunner chick, and there's an enemy gunner chick to the left. She actually shoots you through the walls, as you'll see once I have guys drop down there. It's a little ridiculous, and she does do quite a bit of damage when you're that low of a level, so it's one thing that you'll want to look out for. The one benefit is anything she can do, you can do as well, so you can also shoot through the wall if you have somebody who's a ranged attacks. Now, back to the sludge monster, or I guess, yeah, we'll just call them sludge monsters. They're actually really weak to fire. I think, yeah, minus 70 73%. So if you use your Red Skull at your Red Skull Mage at the top there and just use the fire move, you can dispatch them pretty quickly. In this case, I guess the Jiggles, my flying bug thing, it can use fire, so that would be my Red Skull in this, I guess, scenario. But I don't know if I utilize the fire move. I think I might just physically attack, or maybe I might realize that I'm being a bit dumb. One other thing you might notice is I might not efficiently take out enemies. The one reason why that will be is because I am trying to level up specific characters. Since I'm going through this with doing these videos, I want to level up some of the weaker monsters to get closer to the level of my main cast, just so I can use them interchangeably. What else is there? Alright, so I guess once you're done dispatching them, or maybe you can do it like I did without getting rid of the sludge monsters, you throw the green block and knock out the rest of the blocks. That'll allow you a staircase to get over that wall. If you can shoot through it, I don't know why you can not just walk through it. But that's Disgaea 4 logic for you. So once you get over the wall, your first priority should probably be the gunner. If you can get her from a distance, that's good too. The mushroom monsters they're I say they're kind of like the sludge guys, where they're defense over attack. So once you get those guys down, that'll be it for the first episode, or the first chapter. Sorry. Now, one other thing that you'll want to take into account is starting probably maybe chapter 2 or episode 2, but you might wait till episode 3. There's a reincarnate option. So for 100 mana, you can reincarnate one of your characters, which basically just sets them back to level 1. And then you can improve them, that you get a better version of them. And then depending on how much mana you sacrifice, or I guess there's a payment method after with mana where you get to choose the level of character it's going to reincarnate into. So there's like a level A, B, C, D, maybe, I don't recall if there's an F. I think by default all the characters are just at an F. So when you reincarnate them, you can use the mana, and then it resets to level 1. You get some bonus attributes that you can add to their attributes. And looks like we're going to come up to a cutscene, so I will keep quiet and we can go over the reincarnation after.
Bad, guys. As expected of my dream, I knew this wasn't going to be easy.
Dream? What is that last talking about?
Who knows? Just the blathering of an idiot. It's best to just ignore it.
What's the status of the Prinny exterminators?
They have encountered the enemy and have engaged them in battle as planned.
The outcome is fairly obvious. But as long as some Prinnies are gotten rid of, it'll help justify our plans. And what about the Abaddon? Have you heard anything from them?
Unfortunately, they have been MIA since their encounter with the enemy.
I see. And when are you ever going to grow up?
Hey, you better be ready to take me on. We're gonna peel the hides off of all your prinnies and ruin their lives.
Sacrificing others to attain your own happiness? How vile and shallow. A darker evilness seems to reign over human souls than demons.
Yes, with their prideless minds, they're probably even more of a threat than we are.
Then as a Prinny instructor, I must straighten you out. I shall pound Prinny pride into your heads through lessons of fear and punishment.
Are you trying to threaten me or something? Sorry, but I already know that this is all just a dream.
What? Are you saying that we've been in your dream this whole time?
Please don't be so gullible, my lord. She's simply ignorant. This lass is a dead human soul. Through denial of her own death, she has become delusional.
Wrong, mister. Even if I were dead, I'd be sent to heaven, not to hell or whatever you call this place. I didn't do anything wrong to deserve this. Why would a 9th grader die anyway? If this isn't heaven, then it can't be real. If this isn't real, then it must be a dream. How's that? It's a flawless theory.
Right. It's airtight.
My lord, do not fall victim to her nonsense. Please, develop the skill to doubt people. That lass is an ignorant, illiterate human soul who can't even admit she died. She even failed to become a Prinny.
Then this is perfect. My lessons will be even more worthwhile.
You better watch your attitude. Don't forget that you're in my dream. As long as you and the Prinny still exist, my nightmare will never come to an end. This is war. A war to rid my dream of all demons and make it more fantastical and girly. Battle for freedom and youth.
Alright, so here is chapter 2 of episode 2. Now this one is a bit tricky. I still don't know if I have the best method. I did try a different way of doing it in this video, and I don't like the way that it turned out. I thought it might be a little more difficult for anyone to replicate. So basically you have your two sides here, and there's the green geo panels and the blue. The blue ones switch the HP and the SP, so that basically gives the magical enemies more health, because their health is going to be the SP instead of the HP, and their SP will, or any special skills that they use will take from their HP. So what I ended up doing was I grabbed my guys and I went to the left side, because in my first playthrough I went right. I wanted to see if heading this way was any better. I don't think it is, so I would probably recommend you just head to the right. Now I don't know if there is, because ideally you'll want to switch both panels. You'll want the no ranged on the mage side, and the SP HP switch on the right side. I don't know if there's a fast way to get over there and destroy those blocks. I don't know if you can do that ranged. But as you can see here, the mages are going to do some significant damage to some of my characters. In a previous playthrough, I went to the right side. I stayed on the bridge, and I lured the zombies 2 at a time and took them out. So I feel that might be the best way to do it. And then it could be different for you, but those fighters with the mallet, when I played, they kind of ran towards the mages, and then as I got closer to the geo blocks, then they came back to me. They might just come towards you and fight you once you get towards that area. But whichever way you choose, just head to those, fight your way to those blocks. You just want to destroy the one that you didn't, for the side that you didn't deal with. And that should help you get rid of the other group. Now we'll head a little back to the reincarnation talk. So basically, each time you reincarnate, the aptitude for your characters gets increased by 5%. So with the unique characters, you can do that up to 5 times to get the bonus. I don't know how worth it's going to be to do it 5 times. I'll have to give that a shot on mine. So far, I've only done it once for the unique characters. I've also done it once for my monster characters, which I'm using right now. I actually didn't create the monster characters. I have the ones that we start with by default, but then I actually captured a bunch. Now, if you want to capture some, you have to weaken them, usually get them to a little bit of health, and then you want to throw them into your base panel. If you do them with too much health, they'll just destroy your base panel, and you won't be able to bring anybody else into the fight. Even still with the low health, they could still defeat it, so I think there's a bit of luck involved. I did try throwing my Valvadores to see if I could speed things up. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as planned. But slowly but surely, I will get to that blue geo block, and I will destroy it, and that will give me an advantage over the melee units over there. So the way that I'm kind of handling the reincarnation right now is so the cost kind of goes, I can't remember the exact cost, but I know one is, I think it's 20, 50, 200, 1,000, 5,000. So obviously the mana is used for a ton of other things like skills and evalities, I think that's what they're called. So you don't really want to waste all the mana, you want to kind of utilize it well. So I actually saved up, got the 200 for my characters, and reincarnated them once, and then I just replayed through a couple of the levels. There are actually some select ones that you'll want to do because they have experience bonuses, so that'll help you level up quickly. Just to get back to this level here, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe just because I'm an idiot, I picked up that blue geo block and threw it. You do not have to throw it, it's already on the green panel, you can just destroy it. Okay, back to the reincarnation. So if you reincarnate your character, when you do the 200, so you'll not only need 200 to choose, that's the C grade character, so you'll not only need the 200 mana for that, but you'll need the extra 100 for the reincarnation. And then there's also the option of promotion. A bunch of the characters have other tiers and I guess classes, so you can promote them to a different class. So those will cost a bit more. I think it's 60 mana for a promotion. And then once you've reincarnated them, they'll go back to level 1. Now if you go back to the episode 1 and replay the first chapter, It'll be the one with the 4 printies, and there'll be a blue geopanel, a green geopanel, and a red one. You'll want to just go and lure the printies into the blue with just use one character at a time to make things to help level up your character faster. But you lure them into the blue for the experience bonus, and then you kill the printies with them. It should go fairly quickly because your character will just be stronger than, even at level 1, it's stronger than the level 3 printies. So you should mostly take 0 damage from the printies, especially as you level up. You can get from level 1 to 10 fairly quickly. After that, it starts to slow down. That first level is probably good for levels 1 to 15. And then usually I skip to episode 2, chapter, I want to say 5. I'll bring it up again once we get to that chapter. That first level as well, it can be used for mana boosting. The green geopanels will give you extra mana.
You're just another side character in my dream. You're supposed to fall down and die now!
Enough of your nonsense. Although that's probably pointless to tell someone who thinks she's in a dream. What a nuisance.
Hey, lass! Why aren't you fighting, especially since you're the one who declared war on us? Are you one of those who create war and then just stand on the sidelines and watch the whole time?
Shut up! A boss character never fights until the end! That's common sense!
Seems like that lass really does believe she's in a dream.
She has no idea that she's being used by the Corruptorment. This is precisely why humans are...
Are you bringing up that woman again? It seems like you'll never let that go.
Of course I'm talking about her. The promise you made to that woman is the reason we fell to Hades.
Is someone talking about me behind my back? I don't care. No matter what anyone says about me, I will follow through with this. Until I collect the required amount, I will not return to Celestia, Lady Archangel.
Alright, so this is the third chapter of episode 2. So right off the bat, you'll want to spawn 4 human characters with the lift ability, and you'll want to send them into the 4 corners. Now you'll want to kind of keep track of how far each character can throw. The fighters can typically throw 4 or 5 squares. Your mages and I guess your healers, they can only do 3. So you'll want the guys who throw sideways to be the fighters, and then you'll just want to stack all the boxes as I do, so that the red is at the top, the yellow's at the bottom, and then you throw it down onto the wall of blocks, and it'll slowly get rid of all of them there. And all those enemies will take a significant damage bonus, or penalty, sorry. Or they'll just take significant damage, actually. And you'll get a pretty big bonus as well. Now you can start spawning out the rest of your crew. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to funnel all the characters, or the enemies, on those yellow blocks. So what I'm going to do here is I have my Red Skull. I don't recall if I use Red Skull. I might replace it with my my Jiggles. Unless Jiggles is... No, Jiggles is dead, so yeah, I use Red Skull. So what the Red Skull will have the ability to do range damage, and it has a damage bonus against those goblins. They have a weakness to fire. So what you'll want to do is put one guy on the blue, a melee guy, and then if you have somebody with a spear, put them behind, because the spear will give you a range. You can attack from a distance, like I'm doing right now. So I can hit that guy in front of my first character, Cody, and then you can use the Red Skull to land the fire damage. The other benefit with the fire damage from Red Skull or any other mage is once you put them onto the yellow blocks, they can actually reach those bottom goblins as well. The Red Skull can only hit the one that it's directly across from, unfortunately, so you'll have to continuously keep moving them. But if you have a gunner or your healer with the bow, she can also shoot from the location where I have her. So just slowly wither them down. As you wither them down slowly, just move forward and keep pushing them. If you don't have the ranged person for whatever reason, you can get characters down there, but you have to get all the way across to get down. It's pretty... I don't know why you can't just... Well, I guess maybe it's because there's a goblin just sitting down there blocking it. The one thing you'll notice is if there's only like one way that you can move, and there's an enemy in front of it, you can't actually move past the enemy. You have to kill it, which obviously makes sense. If there's no way around the enemy, you'll have to kill them to get by. But what you have to do in order to get down there is you're going to have to pick up one of the iron you'll get across, and the pink box geo blocks are on top of iron boxes. I don't really understand the logic of it, but if you go beside them and you hit lift, you have the option to lift the iron box, which has one of the pink boxes on top, but you can't just lift the pink box or block. So what you'll do is you'll pick that up. I believe you have to throw it down somewhere else, and then you can pick it up again, or you could just pick up the pink one and throw it on top of the other pink ones, and that'll destroy those blocks, and then it'll create like a little staircase. You'll see me do it in the video. I don't actually use it to get down, I don't think. And then I kill everything just from a distance. So obviously, I don't know, it probably kept my videos from being quicker by using the characters that I've been using. You know, Valvatorez and Fenric, they both have really, even Fuka, she's got, they got a lot of mobility compared to these monster characters, the mages. So you can get places pretty quickly. But as this goes on, we'll start getting to higher levels, and I'll start going back to my main class.
I'll do my best.
I'm getting close up there in mana for Valvatorez. I think I'm at like 3,000, so I might end up reincarnating him soon. So I might actually include that in one of the videos, and I can go over the specific levels that you'll want to level them up in. Well, you can obviously I've gone over it in through description, but it's probably easier to see it in motion. So at this point, I'm going to. This is where I'm going to be picking up the iron block. It's going to be the one at the end. So this part is. I'm a little slow at it because it's still confusing me a bit. So I do throw it down there, and then I have to wait until my next turn to throw it onto the other ones to destroy them. And unfortunately, that last guy, he's not moving, so I had to kill him with the gunner, which you might not have access to. So if he doesn't move and just sits there, you'll have to go down and get him.
Poor lass. Have you finally realized the stupidity of what you've created?
Come out here and surrender. Upon pledging your allegiance to our lord as a prinny, we will grant you a painless execution.
I've had enough of your big mouth. Newsflash! Here comes our top secret final weapon!
This is your final weapon?
That's right! Listen up and be amazed! He is the one and only son of the most powerful man in the Netherworld, the President!
Indeed, but, you know, he's a weakling. Are you sure you're fine with using him as your final weapon?
Is that right? Are you weak? But you're the President's son!
Shut up! I'm not a weakling. I was just sleepy and hungry, so I couldn't show off my full power last time.
Are you here without your men? Then I assume you haven't reported your failure to your father yet.
How did you know that?
It's pretty obvious when a coattail rider such as yourself is out without their security detail. You're like a frightened little child who is in trouble with his father. Well, I suppose you are still a child.
Shut up! Once I beat you guys, everything will be fine and I'll fix my crib. I can't let my father down anymore. I have to win this fight, no matter what.
He's finally letting his determination show. Being on edge must have lit him up. However,
Alright, so this is chapter 3. This one I actually had quite a bit of trouble with the first time I played, but it's actually quite simple. So bring your crew out. You'll want to utilize some ranged characters. You'll definitely want your Red Skull for this one. A lot of the characters here are weak to fire. So just bring everybody out like I am. What you want to do before moving is just slowly lure everybody out. So usually that first goblin will come at you, as well as two of the red sludge monsters. I should probably learn the real names of these things. But anyway, you'll lure them there, and then you can outnumber them, take them out. and we can slowly move on. You'll want to avoid the yellow geo panel. Call off the top of my head with the exact. I guess the power up on it is, but I know it's harmful to you. It's not something that you get any benefit from, so it's not like attack power up for everybody or anything. It's something that specifically hurts. It might be enemy defense up, or actually it just showed there. Damn. What I missed. Anyways, avoid the yellow, and then slowly take out these guys. They're, like I mentioned before, they're weak to fire. You'll want to watch out for the goblin characters, because that skill move that they use with the skull, I think that gives them some health. What you'll want to do is, once you get rid of the 2 skull monsters, maybe the goblin as well, move to where I have that Cody character, and then that'll lure the last guy through. You can take him out. I'm actually moving forward with Cassie here, because she's a higher level, so I'm not really gonna have too much trouble with those 2 goblins there. But you'll want to probably take it a little bit slower. Now the game plan here is you want to get a human character to that green geo block, because we're gonna toss it across. And then you'll also want to get somebody with a ranged attack who can hit that red geo block. So depending on, I guess, your level, maybe you replayed some levels, got a higher, have some guys that are a bit over leveled, in which case you can take a little bit more liberties. If not, you'll want to kind of keep your crew together and just outnumber everything. So you're going to notice here, even though I have Valatorez out, I'm not really going to use him in battle. He's mostly going to go get that green box and toss it. Actually, I did use him. Well, I'm just a liar then. Just have this last enemy through. Now things will get a little bit more complicated after, because there's all those ranged guys there. Plus you got Death and Measle as well.
Get over here!
And don't be afraid to utilize the combos as well. With the adjacent characters. They actually give a pretty good damage bonus. Alright, so we'll pick up the green box. I think I'm not able to throw it as far as I need to, so I end up putting it down and I move to the other side of it. Now I'm able to throw it all the way across onto the yellow. Oh, enemy boost 50%, that's what it is. Alright, so then I get Raspberry over to so she can attack the red box. Then that'll cause the chain reaction. Do some good damage. Now you'll want to try and get everybody across. So I'm kind of gonna rush things here, so I'm not gonna move guys as slowly as I probably should have. But you want to kind of get everybody over at the same time, because there's a large number of them there. You'll probably get 3 or 4 of them will come after you at the start, so you don't want them ganging up on like one guy.
Your back is wide open.
hear that. I kind of probably shouldn't have put that guy there. But he's strong enough to take the damage. So we're gonna move guys up. We'll do some damage. Unfortunately, it's gonna draw a lot more attention than I want. Plus, my Red Skull is kind of overpowered at level. I think it's either the high 20s or it's early 30s. These things I think are only level like 15 at most.
Here I come!
I do, since I ended up capturing one, I did, because I have lost a couple times now. I believe episode 5 was the second time that I lost. So creating the gunner was actually a pretty good move. I do recommend you doing that if you have the advantage to create a new character. Or you can just capture her, I guess. That works too. It gets a little difficult though if you're trying to capture enemies that are lower level, because you'll probably kill them in one shot, and there's always that the counter damage. Yeah, so get you guys across and starts taking out the guys. You'll probably want to, once Death of Measle gets involved, you'll probably want to take him out first. He's gonna be the one that does the most damage. And always make sure that you have your healer within range of your guys, just in case you need to heal them. All we have to do is take out this one last guy, and that's it for the 3rd chapter.
Rascal! You better start taking this seriously.
What? I am.
You seem determined to win, but I can't feel your determination to kill. Without that, you'll never defeat me. I'm determined to beat the president and whip the corruptiment into proper shape. If you really want to stop me, you better be ready to kill me.
Kill you? That's easier said than done, damn it!
That rascal really reacted to the word kill. Although he's deaf, is it possible that he's never taken anyone's life before? And that timidness, he could be the perfect prey.
What was his problem? He was such a loudmouth. Can't believe he turned out to be a complete wuss. How could he trick me like that? He's a fraud! A fraud, I say! I'll sue him!
Why don't you give up already? I know you're not a complete Prinny, but just obey as is.
I'm not gonna back down. No way! I only accept dreams that have happy endings, whether they happen at the end or not.
I don't think I've ever met such a troublesome Prinny before. Fenric, we're going after her.
Understood. All is for my lord.
So you finally decided to fight your own battles.
Yup. Now that I think about it, it's my dream. Therefore, there's no way I'm gonna lose. That's right. This is my dream. As long as I keep that in mind, there's nothing I can't do.
Where's all this coming from? I can sense her power increasing. Her power! It's much stronger than a Prinny's. How is this possible?
That lass, by believing that everything that's happened around her is a dream, has released her full potential.
Here's an explanation. Humans are said to only be able to utilize about 30% of their full potential. That's because using 100% of their power would apply too much of a physical burden on their body and would lead to self-destruction. However, this girl was able to release her full power due to her delusional belief that everything is part of a dream, including her own existence. Some people call it a girl's fantasy, which can prove more troublesome than anything else.
Lord Val, please, be cautious. This lass is an idiot, but she possesses power comparable to us demons.
Aha! That is impressive.
Yes, I agree. However, now is not the time to be awestruck. We're in quite a bit of danger.
I've had enough of this chaotic dream! I want a dream that's sweet and lovely, like marshmallows! I want to swim in a pool of passion fruit jelly and boba! I want to coincidentally bump into a prince from a foreign country, fall in love and elope while he's carrying me in his arms! With that said, get out of my dream right now!
I don't mind a shameless floozy who freely shouts such embarrassing things. Though I'm going to have to wake you up and engrave the truth into your tiny brain over and over until you accept reality.
Alright, so this is the second last, I guess, episode, or chapter of the episode. This is going to be one of the harder missions. So what you want to do is, your first order of business is going to be get rid of the goblins here. So you're going to want to get as many guys as you can over to where they are and attack them. And you want to avoid the blue geopanels because they're going to warp you around and it probably won't end well for you. Because there are going to be times where you get warped and you get warped into a group of 3 or 4 enemies and they just gangbang you. And they make you like it. So stay on the toadstools.
Get over here!
And just wait for the enemies to kind of come to you. There is another method that you could use, but it's going to... You're going to need a character with a lot of mobility. I'll kind of get to that later. Because I do go ahead and do that once I've thinned the herd. You'll also want to try and avoid combat with Fuka. she's very powerful, and she will use her baseball bat skill move, which will do massive damage to you. And I remember it was a lot of damage for the level of my character at. So you definitely want to deal with her little minions first. So they'll start to move around. The mushroom guy on the left, he's going to be on the spider web, so he's not going to be warping around, but the others will. You obviously want to kind of avoid going on the blue panels, like I said, so you'll want to attack at a range. I am actually not going to follow my own advice here. I will go onto the blue panels, and you will see I get warped around. I don't think it really hurts me too much. I think I kind of get lucky in that aspect. But we'll kind of see. So, yeah. So we move my green slime guy. I think it doesn't end well for him. So he obviously can't do enough damage to the mushroom enemy. So they're gonna use their turn. Luckily, the spear guy, he gets off the blue panel, so it'll make things easier for me. You'll also, as you just see, I finally took at the goblin just now. You want to be a lot quicker than I was. I really don't know why it took me so long. And to be honest, the way I'm handling the heavy knight, it's kind of poor on my part as well. More efficient method of doing that would be move my my dragon guy back, put the cat saber in front and attack with that, and then I can use the fire melee for it. It works out because I do end up killing it, but sometimes you're gonna get cocky in this game and think, oh well, this guy can do this much damage to that enemy, and then he ends up doing less than you expect, and he ends up taking more damage than he should. Here's a good example of the warp not working in my favor. It's like the slime monster just got raped. So the other method that I was talking about to beating this is you can see that red geo block there. You'll want to get to that, throw it onto the blue, and destroy it. Now that's easier said than done because you need to get across and not get warped. Or hope that somebody gets warped close to it, which there's too much RNG to kind of use that as a guide, or a method in a guide. So the gunner I have, she's got pretty good mobility, so I'll use her to get across, but in order to do that, first I gotta take care of the enemies. Here, I'm taking some extra risks to take out these enemies. Obviously my guy can get warped because he's on the blue.
Ready for me?
Obviously, that the risk is worth taking. Obviously, this situation here is not ideal because all my guys are getting critical.
Wanna get cracked? Dream power!
As you can see there, Jiggly's rest his soul just died. So here I kind of got lucky and my Pengu got warped where the Heavy Knight was. So I'm able to just walk all the way across, and my Pengu will take care of the Heavy Knight. My Gargoyle, however, he will have his work cut out for him. He has to go up against Fuka, who wants to put that baseball bat where the sun don't shine. So I'm going to focus my attention on Fuka here because she's obviously the most dangerous. And then while they do that, turn. The one thing you have to consider too is my characters are still a higher level, so things are going to be a little bit easier for you. You're not going to take out Fuka that easily. Even with 3 characters, it's still going to take you multiple attempts. And you're definitely going to take more damage. Unless you... The one, like I mentioned before with the reincarnation, I've reincarnated all my characters once. So they're a much higher... Their stats are much better than these characters, so they're not going to take as much damage either. And as you just saw, I made another poor decision. I threw that Geoblock way too far. So as you can see here, I'm trying to prepare for it by moving my characters off the panels, because it's going to set off... actually, I don't think there's going to be a chain reaction. I think it's just going to be the one. But because of the way I threw it, my Cat Saber's going to take some damage. Not that it really... Oh yeah, there is a chain. There's a null block over there. So that reaction should wreck everything. Then mushroom things to tanks. So at this point, we're just going to clean up the leftovers here. Pretty bomb. Now the one thing that's, even though, like I mentioned before about the cockiness with the characters, just because you think that you'll probably take a character out, an enemy out with one attack, don't be extra cautious and just attack with multiple characters, just in case, because you can always miss, you can maybe not do as much damage as you thought you would. And then instead of end turn like I do, because I'm careless, always execute, because if you use the execute, it'll just the characters will attack until the enemy, or I guess any enemy that is being attacked is dead, and all the characters that don't end up attacking because it died, you'll be able to redeploy them and use other moves. Really just a strategy. Just some food for thought there.
Alas, you keep speaking of a nightmare and punishment. What kind of hardships have you been through?
You really want to know, huh? I get shivers down my spine from just thinking about it. Every day and night, We cooked, cleaned, did the laundry, and other ridiculous tasks, like looking for some ultra dessert. On top of all that, we only got paid 1 sardine a day for 20 hours of life-threatening hard labor. It's cool that I don't have to study or do homework. I don't get to eat any sweet desserts or dress up and go out. For a girl, it's the same thing as being told to go kill yourself. If this isn't a nightmare, then what would you call it?
But that's pretty normal.
Huh?
20 hours labor for 1 sardine a day? That's standard treatment for a Prinny. You're no exception.
Huh? No, you're lying. I heard that normal Prinnies are treated like VIPs. They only work for an hour, get 3 meals a day, with dessert, and even get nap time. I heard they also live in luxury hotel suites.
How did you manage to believe all that?
So, are you saying that even if we exterminate all of the normal Prinnies, our living conditions won't change at all?
You are correct. Nothing will change.
How could this be? This is impossible!
Lass, who do you think the Prinnies are? People become Prinnies to pay off the sins they committed in the human world. Prinnies don't get to choose their living conditions. The only thing they get to do is work hard until they pay off their sins.
Why? I didn't do anything bad. You're lying. This is all a lie. I want a proof of this.
Hey, wait! I'm not done talking to you!
My lord, please wait. There is a contaminated area up ahead filled with pollution. I hear it's brimming with mutated monsters. See?
Enough, Fenric! As a Prinny instructor, I cannot leave her there! Let's go, Fenric!
All is for my lord. My lord, because of all the pollution, this area has become extremely hazardous. You must be careful at all times and look out for the rampaging mutated monsters.
The Corruptorment is to blame for this situation as well. How far will they fall? See an end to this. What is with that pile of trash? It's like a massive lump of concentrated toxin. Ugh.
It's waste from the human world. Made in... There's no doubt that these are the source of the pollution here.
Waste from the human world? Are you saying that they're dumping their garbage in the netherworld? That's nonsense! How could the Corruptorment allow this? They must be aware that it's happening.
Hey guys, I thought you came here to rescue me!
You're right.
What? Seriously? You actually came to help me?
Of course. As a Prinny instructor, I am obligated to save you.
You...
He's only seeing to his professional duty. Don't you dare develop affections for him, lass.
Like I would! You guys beat the hell out of me earlier!
At least you're still full of energy. Can you fight, lass?
My name is Fuka. Fuka Kazamatsuri, a 9th grader from St. Goliath Middle School, classroom 3B.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have the final chapter of the second episode. Now, this one will be a little difficult as well, because the red panels here have a cloning ability, which means at the end of every turn, one of these little fuckers will reappear on the map. Luckily, it's not going to be one per fucker on the map. excuse my language. But yeah, you'll want to kind of try and get things taken care of as quickly as possible. So do utilize your fire characters as they'll do the most damage. Now, as you can see, there are geoblocks here which can be used. I think I used it near the end. But
I'll show you.
the quickest way to probably deal with that, though,
I'll do my best.
would be to go to the right. And what you can do is you can pick up one of your characters, throw it across, destroy the panel, and then it'll cause a giant chain reaction. Unfortunately, there's no real safe spot, so you're kind of screwed that way. So you're going to take damage as well. I think no matter what, you take less damage than the enemy does.
I can do anything in my dream.
So, as I mentioned earlier in regards to the leveling up after reincarnation, this is going to be the map you're going to replay. Unfortunately, that cloning aspect that we have to deal with now is not in effect when you replay it. So you can't just sit back and let guys respawn, which is, you know, as I said, unfortunate. But they get it's instead of a clone and no range, there's an experience bonus and I think a lower defense. I want to say minus 50% defense. So that's definitely a good map to level up. I usually take my level 10. I try to take my level 10 characters here, but it's a little difficult when they're just level 10. It gets a little bit easier when they're like 11 or 12. But yeah, basically, if you're not gonna do it the way that I suggested, where you throw someone over to the red geoblock, you're probably going to be in for a little bit of a difficult time, because obviously these green slime monsters, they have high defenses, so it's going to be hard to take them out quickly. As we can see here, I actually I didn't know that I followed it, but I did the left instead of the right. The one disadvantage with that is no, actually it might actually be better I did it left, because if you destroy the red, it's only going to change it to green. So yeah, ignore what I said. Do it the way that I do it on the video. Don't do the right side first, do the left side. If you end up doing it on the right side like I suggested, it's only gonna change the square that one guy's on, because it's not green. Whereas that'll change everything, and then it'll cause that reaction with the other one. So as you can see, everything is pretty weak now. We just have to mop up the excrement that's left over. Could only imagine if you had creative control over the colors of these enemies. Make the slime monsters brown and look like diarrhea monsters. Now the other thing you do is, well, it'll mostly be how to deal with the enemies that are on those squares that are remote. You'll obviously, the best way to get rid of them is to either throw somebody over there to fight them or use a ranged attack. Obviously, if you use the ranged attack, you're not vulnerable to any sort of reciprocation, I guess, let's say. They can't really attack you back, but obviously you want to get that block destroyed as fast as possible, so sometimes you just gotta suck it up. But yeah, if you're gonna throw somebody over, make sure it's gonna be your toughest guy. That way he can destroy the box and he can deal with the slime monster as well. And then I believe the red guy at the back, which we are going to deal with shortly, I think he's a promoted version of the slime monster. So he's going to be stronger than the green ones. So he's probably best left for last. He's not going to harass you too much unless you get close to him. The one good benefit about these monsters is their mobility sucks, so you can get around them pretty quickly, and if your characters are vulnerable, you can kind of put distance between you and the enemy fairly easily and avoid taking damage. I know there was a bit when I was trying to level up my gunner over there, and I was doing this, she was taking some pretty good damage, so I was able to back away, attack from a distance. It would come closer to me, but it was never able to get close enough to attack me, so I could run away again on my next turn and attack it from a distance again. And then here's another example where I'm trying to get the kill with one of my weaker characters to level them up. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out, so I will use somebody else. I mean, there's plenty of weak characters, well, weak-ish characters, and they're over-leveled for the level, but they're still weak in my eyes, because all my guys are like level 40, or level 30, and these guys are like 19.
My lord, it seems that all the mutants have run away.
Now that I think about it, they are also just victims. Could have done this alone.
Well, I'm gonna go now, since there's no reason for me to fight you anymore.
Not so fast, lass. Even if you fail to become a Prinny, you're still technically a Prinny. And as long as you're a Prinny, I must teach and raise you from beginning to end so that you can become a great Prinny. First of all, Prinny rule number 1. You shall always include the word dude in every line you say.
No way! I'm not a Prinny! I'm Ukakasamatsuru!
Hades is the training ground for all burdened souls. That being said, you have no right to complain. Now, Prinny rule number 1. You shall always include the word dude in every line you say.
No means no! First of all, who came up with these horrible labor laws anyway?
It's the Prinny Law that was written by the very first president of the Netherlands. Only the president can revise this law.
Okay, then I'll go talk to the president. I'm gonna tell him to his face to change the Prinny law!
Find your attitude rather pleasing. Why don't you come with us? I'll take you to meet the president.
Seriously?
Yes, of course.
Lord, enough of your careless promises.
Well, we're going to have to fight the president sooner or later. It's an inevitable confrontation if we're to complete our mission. Isn't that right?
You're right, but...
Whoa! Then I've decided. I'm coming with you. My new mission is to become the Netherworld President.
What? Wasn't your goal to revise the Prinny Law?
The same difference. Besides, I like the sound of that better.
And thus, Prinny War 1 came to an end. Tyrants Valvatores and Fuka Kazamatsuru. Nobody at the time could imagine how great of an influence their encounter that day would have on the future of not only the Netherworld, but of the human world as well.
My dream is starting to get pretty exciting.
How many times do we have to tell you this isn't a dream? You're dead.
How many times do I have to tell you that this is my dream? If you think I'm so wrong, then
You promise that when I'm proven right, you will admit that you are pretty, no matter what?
Fine, I promise. But then if I'm right, you have to promise to become my very own personal friend.
What? Your personal pretty?
Oh, are you trying to back out now?
How amusing. All right, I'll take you up on that promise.
My lord, do not be so rash in making so many futile promises.
No need to worry. You won't be able to keep your promises. I just released all the prisoners. I told them that whoever kills you guys will get a full pardon. They're all notoriously brutal criminals. You're all gonna die. It's game over!
Oh, Axel, you're still alive? An astonishing truth was revealed to us after putting an end to the Untitled Rebellion and stopping the corruption scheme.
That's right! Warden Axel is alive! Let the relief bring you to your knees!
The truth is, the word sardine refers to more than one kind of fish, including other small fish in the Clupinae family, like the Japanese shad.
Don't tell me that's the astonishing fruit you were talking about.
By the way, sardines are named after an island called Sardinia in the Mediterranean Sea.
Who cares?
Hey! Aren't you surprised to see me alive? Oh, and the shads are also called pumpernicks.
Are you into fish too?
In Japanese, sardine is translated as iwashi, but uname iwashi and takuchi iwashi aren't even included in the same family. What in Hades is going on here, Japanese language? Takuchi iwashi, the anchovy, is an iguanid family that includes the grenadier anchovy that doesn't even look like a sardine. Why do they even call them iwashi? Sardines would cry if they knew about these vague standards. Come on!
No, you come on! You stupid sardine nerd!
Next time, episode 3, Valvatores never eat murder. Sardines aren't always what you see.
What? No! A murder! Who's gonna get killed?
You!